What is up, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new test hand video. I didn't think I was going to do one for Nekroz, but I figured I might as well. The deck is a pretty difficult deck to pilot, and I figured a lot of people like these types of videos because it helps them learn the deck and see the deck in a sort of natural form, not just doing nitpicking, you know, 2 or 3 card combos, although this deck does have some of those, but just showing, you know, possible plays from random hand to random hand. So I figured this would help a lot of people out, especially since this is a difficult deck to pilot and sort of always has been since its inception. So we'll get started here, but real quick shout out to Imperium Duelist if you're interested in any of these beautiful purple non-effect sleeves, or this beautiful playmat we're using, or these effect sleeves here like you see on this Dweller. I don't know how well you can see that in the lighting here, the charm effect sleeves in red. If you guys want to pick up any of this stuff from their website, check out imperiumduelist.com. Description down below, a link to their website. A link to the website in the description down below, and a discount code you can use as well to save 10% off your entire order. So that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle up the deck here. Alright, so the deck has been shuffled up, and there's one thing I want to mention. I have made quite a few changes to this build since the last deck profile. Always constantly evolving and changing builds, and we're also going to do just going first test hands for this video as well. But one thing, one of the most notable changes I've made was dropping the Zaborg engine from the deck, because I've moved over to the Vanity's Ruler engine, just because I think it's much more efficient, and there's a 2-card combo to pull it off. I mean, granted, there's a 2/3 card combo to pull off Zaborg, but you have to hard draw Zaborg, and we can actually search Vanity's Ruler in this deck because of Ben 10. But yeah, so this list is also very similar to the list that went 8-3 at Euro Nats, because that was a very interesting list, playing the evenly match in there. Great idea, and just going for the hard lock with Vanity's Ruler. Really like the idea of that. And one other thing I might try in here later on is the Saravis Ritual Monster, because it's generic protection from targeting, so we can use it to actually protect the Vanity's Ruler if we need to. But despite all that, we opened up a really busted hand. We have Brio, Chalice Lion, Prep Rights, Thousand Hands, and Nekroz of Trishula here. So as it stands with this hand, we can very easily set up a Unicorn board, a classic Unicorn board, but I'm trying to think if there's a way we can set up a Vanity's Ruler play, and I'm not entirely too sure that we can. We need Bryonic and any other incantation other than Chalice Slime, or other than Talismandra rather, but I think we might be able to pull it off with Chalice Slime. Either way, we'll go ahead and try to pull it off here. So we'll start with the Chalice Slime to go ahead and special summon a copy of Talismandra, because if one thing is for sure, we definitely need a copy of Ben 10 to our hand, which he will be able to add, because without Ben 10 we have no way to search the card known as Vanity's Ruler. So from here we will go ahead and pitch Brio for a copy of Clauselus, and eventually Clauselus will grab us our spell. So grabbing this, then grabbing this, and then from here we can go use Prep Rights here to go ahead and activate this to search Valk. No, we can't grab Valk, but we could grab Unicorn, I guess. Yeah, we could grab Unicorn here, and I'm trying to see if there's any other way. Or no, actually what we could do, instead of grabbing Cycle, we can grab Kaleidoscope, because I'm forgetting that we're going to be able to get another search here of a ritual spell or monster, and that's going to be through the classic, you know, Unicorn and Herald play. So we'll go Kaleidoscope here. That's going to allow us to send a monster from our extra deck as tribute. We'll use Herald of the Arclight, and we'll use Herald of the Arclight to add any ritual spell or monster from our deck to our hand. We'll add the Cycle that we were going to grab off Clauselus, but we decided not to. And now we're going to use Cycle here, discard the Ben 10 to special summon the Bryonic. And then here we will use the Ben 10 to add a Light Fairy from our deck to hand known as a Vanity's Ruler, because that card is searchable, I guess. This is just a proxy for Vanity's Ruler. I don't actually have the card as of yet. It's in the mail. I was hoping it would be here today on my last day of recording, but lo and behold, it did not show up. So now we'll go ahead and normal summon the Vanity's Ruler by getting rid of these. And now we have Unicorn as well as Vanity's Ruler. So if they clear this, they still have to deal with this. If they clear this, they still have to deal with the Vanity's Ruler. So And we still have a Manju and a Trish in hand for next turn. So that's a pretty solid ending field. We do not take 2,500 from the Chalice Line because we were able to Ritual Summon after we resolve that effect. And next turn we are drawing evenly matched. So not a terrible field. I mean, it's not much, but like skill drain for the extra deck, one-sided Vanity's Emptiness. It's a very, very strong board there. And we can follow up with a lot more on the next turn and possibly Trish them if they've made any investments to their field or graveyard. Gonna go ahead and shuffle up real quick, and then we'll of course jump into another test hand and see how many times we can pull off that Vanity's Ruler play or any other sorts of cool plays that we can do with Nekroz here in 2019. So I'm gonna shuffle up, we'll be back in just a second. All right, so the deck has been cut and shuffled, etc., etc. Trying to evenly match Celestial Observatory, Chalice Slime, Bookstone, and a copy of Shuret. So this hand, to start, doesn't look the greatest. Now, if we did lose the dice roll, which is a very possible thing to happen, we have an evenly match working in our favor, and we're drawing a Talismandra for turn, which we can easily put back with Observatory to draw 2 more cards and then summon back out with Talismandra. So that's not too big of a deal. One of the reasons I really like Celestial Observatory in here. Do I wish this was probably a pot of extravagance? Yes, but I mean, this card still has its benefits nonetheless. So we'll start this hand the only way I see fit, and that is by discarding the Chalice Line, rather, to special summon any incantation from our deck. And I'm going to go with the Talismandra. Talismandra will add us any ritual monster here. And I'm going to add Bryo. And then before we do anything else, I'm going to use the Celestial Observatory here to put back the Talismandra to the bottom of our deck, and we'll draw 2 more cards. I'm just going to shuffle here before we draw. Gonna shuffle the deck here real quick, and then we'll go ahead and draw our cards. So shuffle and cut the deck. Alright, so now we will use Celestial Observatory to put any level 6 that we have on our hand or field back to the bottom of our deck to draw 2 cards. We draw into Prep Rites and a copy of Pencil Plume, which is really, really good. So we can actually use Pencil Plume here to resolve a card like Candle to get a ritual spell from our deck to our hand. So we'll reveal, and then special summon the Candle. Just like that, and then we'll add a copy of, let's see, I mean, we have Bryo and Incantation, so we should be able to pull off the Vanity's Ruler here again, but we had to use the Talismandra to get Ben 10, to get Bryo, but we can use Preparation of Rites to grab Ben 10 just the same. So here I'm going to actually grab Cycle, and then we'll use this to grab this, because we can add any level 7 or lower ritual monster from our deck to our hand. And now from this point, we will pitch this for a copy of Valk. So might as well add the Valk to our hand. And then we will use the Cycle to tribute this to special summon Bryo. Or we could use it to special summon... No, we can't. I was going to say we could use it to special summon, the Valk, actually. If we grabbed a copy of Mirror, technically... Yeah, we could have played this out a bit differently. If we, instead of grabbing Cycle here, if we grab Mirror, because we can remember that if we tribute this, we can grab Shuret, and Shuret can grab us Cycle as well. So, might as well go ahead and do that. I mean, it's probably a bit of an overextension, for sure, but I'm just going to do it anyways for the sake of the video. So we'll start with Mirror, tribute this to summon Valk, and then this will add us any Warrior Nekroz monster from our deck to our hand. And we're doing a lot of deck thinning here as well, which is kind of nice. Tribute that, and then add this. And then we'll also be able to draw more cards off our Valk too, on top of having the Vanity's Ruler. So that's kind of a plus as well. Then we can pitch the Bryo, because we need that in our graveyard. I mean, granted, we don't need it in our graveyard, but might as well just get the search effect out of it while we can. We could add another copy of Valk. We could add Unicorn. I'm just going to add Valk just for safekeeping, just so we can end the battle phase if they get something on field that's really beefy. So we'll do that. And then we will use Cycle, tribute Ben 10, special summon the Bryonic, activate Ben 10 effect to add a Light Fairy from our deck to our hand. I'm going to go ahead and grab that proxy, known as the Vanity's Ruler right there. Yeah, so we'll be able to Vanity's Ruler and draw some cards too, which is nice. So yeah, we'll tribute these for Vanity's Ruler, just like that. And then we have a Valk effect that we can use. We could use Valk to honestly like get rid of the evenly matched in our hand. We don't really need it. But let's just tribute these 2 cards in our hand, draw 2 more. Trish and Inception. Not too bad to draw into for next turn. The only issue with this hand is that we don't really have, as it stands, a guaranteed follow-up play for next turn. So didn't really need to go for the Valk. I just kind of did it as like a flashy little play. Next turn we're drawing Yugioh, which is actually not terrible to draw because we can pitch this to add Bryo back and etc. etc. So I really hope this deck gets a bit more support on the ban list, giving us maybe Yugioh to 2 or Shurit to 2 to start. I don't think would be bad at all. Maybe Yugioh stay at 1, but maybe Shurit come back to maybe multiple copies, maybe 2 to start. Who knows? But yeah, so that's it for that test hand. We'll go ahead and shuffle up here and draw into another one. Right, so a quick pile shuffle has been done. Let's draw into a going first hand here and see what we can get. First card is Cyber Angel Ben 10, Kandal, Thousand Eyes, Thousand Hands. I keep saying Thousand Eyes. Cycle and another copy of Kandal. So this hand isn't the greatest, but we can probably still make something happen with it, which is nice. Yeah, opening the Ben 10 is nice here because it saves us from having to rely on, you know, getting into our hand via a search. So here we can use Kandal, reveal Cycle, and special summon Talismandra. Talismandra will search as Bryonek, all the same. It's sort of like the reverse of the combo we pulled off before in the first hand. It's instead of just opening Bryo with any incantation, we're opening up Ben 10 with any incantation. We should be able to pull it off, like I said, just the same. Tribute this for any Nekroz card. And you know what, to be honest, we don't need anything else. We could just hit, I mean, like, we have a follow-up for next turn. We have Manju in hand, so that's nice. So we can pitch this. We'll add Valk just to save ourselves from the battle phase in case they have any ways to get over it. Then we'll cycle, tribute that, special summon this, activate this, and go for the Vanity's Ruler, which there it is. It's a very easy card to pull out of the deck since it's just a backwards proxy. And then we'll normal summon, tribute those two for the successful Vanity's Ruler play, still having 3 cards in hand for next turn, and drawing a Celestial Observatory, which is not bad because we can just put that Bryo back to the bottom of our deck and draw 2 more cards, drawing into Chalice Slime and another copy of Ben 10. So not too bad. And like I said, Observatory in the worst case scenario is worse than the Extravagance, but in the scenarios where you can resolve it, I think it's much better because we're playing 3, 5, and then 2 Talismandras, so that's 7 level 6s in the deck. You know, a lot of them which are very easily searchable, especially like resolving a Chalice Slime, just to discard it to get this out, search, and then put it back to your deck to use another turn, and drawing 2 more cards seems like a no-brainer to me, but I can see and have experienced myself how it cannot be that optimal of a card. So I'm gonna pile shuffle here again, and I think we pulled off the Vanity's Ruler lock every single turn, which is kind of scary, and I'm definitely going to be taking this deck to a locals very soon. I have a locals on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I was thinking about doing sort of like a triple crown locals test and maybe taking a different deck to each locals or taking the same deck to each locals and sort of coming back with a massive tournament report video for you guys. But of course, I'd have to do that when I get back from vacation in mid-July, so have that to look forward to. Not going to pile shuffle here, just going to go ahead and do some basic shuffle, cut the deck, draw into our opening hand, Celestial Observatory, Pencil Plume, Trish, Yugioh, and Chalice Slime. So this hand looking pretty strong. We could start by using Pencil Plume to go for Kandal to add the Kaleidoscope from our deck to hand. Then we could pitch this for Talismandra for Bryo and draw 2 more off that. So I like that play. Let's reveal Chalice Slime and Pencil Plume. Pencil Plume will summon itself to summon Kandal. Kandal will add Kaleidoscope. Because one thing I find with Nekroz, and maybe I'm just wrong, but this is the one thing that I always found and found out recently, and sort of always remember this from playing it back in the day, is if we can get to a ritual spell directly, if we can get directly to Kaleidoscope for Yugioh, that's what we want to do. We don't want to go like add Bryo for Klaus for this, because that's just wasting a bunch of resources that we could get to later to access different cards. So the more directly you can get to the card you need without having to, you know, pitch to search to pitch to search to pitch to search to get the card you want, the better. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. So we added that. Now we'll pitch the Chalice Slime to summon out Talismandra. We'll search a copy of Bryo, and then this is going to be really nice, just to draw 2 cards after searching Bryo here. I mean, granted, we could just pitch the Bryo to search again, but we might not even need to search with the Brio, because we just might need to keep it for our next turn anyways. There's really no point in doing that unless we need to draw into a Valk, which we can just search off the Kaleidoscope. Because one other important thing on top of setting up the Unicorn is you want protection and a follow-up for next turn. So we'll use Observatory, put that back to the bottom, draw into another Observatory and another Manju. Not another Manju, but a Manju. So, I mean, drawing Observatory would just be like drawing an Extravagance off Extravagance, which is fine. Not too big of a setback. Now we'll use the Kaleidoscope here. Let me put my hand down here. 1, 2, 4, 5. Kaleidoscope to send Herald of the Arclight, to summon Nekroz of Unicorn, and then we'll use that effect of that search we get to add Nekroz of Valkyris. And one other thing to note, I've cut Gungnir out of the deck, so would normally probably pitch Brio to search Gungnir, but I'm just going to leave my hand the way it is. We have a way to stop the battle phase. We have a way to protect Unicorn from targeting, which is really awesome. So it protects against Widow Anchor and Permanence, Lost Wind, etc., etc. So yeah, we're set there. We can stop the battle phase. We do have a Nekroz card in our graveyard, and that is this. Although if I was afraid of losing the Kaleidoscope, we could probably pitch the Brio and search something else. So if we do use Valk, we can just banish the Brio instead. But our hand is really strong as is, and for turn we're drawing a Clausulus. And here we could probably just pitch Brio for something else and maybe use this to grab Ben 10, make some other plays, and who knows, maybe pull off a Vanity's Ruler play as well. We will not take the 2500 from the Chalice Slime, so that's good, because we did Ritual Summon after it resolved. Don't forget your Chalice Slimes, ladies and gentlemen. They will come back to burn you if you do not remember that effect. Also, don't forget it either, because don't want to mess up life points in a match. So yeah, let's shuffle up here. I'm going to pile shuffle, and we'll go ahead and do, this will be the last hand we do, just because it's kind of, getting the point at this time in the video. Just getting the idea down of how the deck works, setting up the Vanity's Ruler play, using Valk to tribute and draw turn 1, making sure you have the right resources, make sure you search efficiently, etc., etc. Pretty much all the basis is covered. So yeah, let's go ahead and just shuffle here and cut and draw into Observatory, Talismandra, Valk, Prep Rites, and Manju. So the first thing I'm going to do is just Observatory back the Talismandra, because that's not a card we want to draw into. Ben 10 and 1,000 hands, almost at 1,000 eyes. Now I'm trying to think here, can we set up the play? As it stands right now, I don't think so, because we have a way to get to Brio right here. We have a way to get to an incantation. We could use this to add Chalice Slime, pitch Chalice Slime, summon Talismander, Talismander to add Brio, Brio pitch for Klaus, Klaus pitch for Cycle. Or no, we definitely can set it. We just have to tribute our Brio. So let's go for prep here, and prep for Chalice Slime, pitch Chalice Slime, summon Talismandra, Talismandra add Bryonic. Where is it? Let's see. Pitch Brio for the, we're gonna need that eventually, so let's just grab that now, and then Clausulus for that. So at this point, we can cycle for the Ben 10, summon out the Brio, add this effect, use this effect to search a Light Fairy. There it is. And there it is, boys. There it is. Then we normal summon by attributing these two, putting this back to the graveyard. All good. And yeah, we can end the battle phase. We have a follow-up for next turn, and we're drawing a Trish for turn, so that's not too bad. We open the double Manju, and like I said, you don't always have to go for the Vanity's Rule, but why wouldn't you in most cases, unless you're playing against True Draco, which this deck just has a really bad matchup against True Draco, a really, really bad matchup. We could have done a couple different things there. We could have normal Manju and gone for a Unicorn play. If maybe the Vanity's Ruler, we knew maybe our opponent had an easy time outing it last turn, and Unicorn would have been much better. So maybe we could have just, instead of prepping for Chalice Slime, we could just prep for Brio or prep for Unicorn, and then search a different card off of Manju, like Kaleidoscope, and just go for a play like that. That's totally an option that we could have done. But yeah, that's it for this Nekroz test hand video. I've made some changes to the main deck. I've dropped all the Zaborgs, dropped Gungnir, still playing I think 1 of the incantations. Only playing 1 Bookstone, 2 Celestial Observatory, 2 Ben 10, and a Vanity's Ruler. Drop the summon limits, so there's just some changes that I've made. I'll probably be doing an updated profile maybe sometime later this month. Who knows? Gonna be getting I think the duel video for this might have already went up. The rematch between this and Orcust and Nekroz. I have no idea, but I'll definitely be getting more duel videos though for sure of Nekroz, because I love playing it. It's so much fun to play this deck. I really enjoy it. And it's so powerful too, and I'm just excited to see if we get any support back for it from the ban list. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Check out Imperium Duelist and join Discord as well. And as always, guys, thank you so much for the support. And as always, Winter Kill signing out. We'll see you in the next one.